All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Mr. Cat Season 2. I actually remembered to press the locals button, so now I don't have to go through Twitch VODs, which is great. So this is pretty much the best possible way to start my morning. It's gonna be Mineski versus MVP.Hot6. It's gonna be Trent here, and I'm joined by Annie.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to more of the
Thank
Mr.
you.
Cat action.
Ooh, I'm
Glorious
so excited
SEA
here.
Dota.
This is actually the first time I'll get to see Mineski in a really long time, and I think it's the first time I'll see them, at least on this roster. So,
Oh yeah, so you haven't been able to witness Miracle God before?
not
He
yet,
left OG for
so-
this, so it's pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
Real miracle.
Yep, that's the lad himself though. This is actually the one true miracle. I mean, this guy is like the original. Holy shit! Don't ever give this guy a Naga. He's like the god. He's the king. Big
This is
miracle
actually
fan
the
here.
miracle I knew before the EU miracle.
Exactly. That's right. He's the original, the one true
I was
miracle.
doing the Southeast Asian Shanghai Major qualifier games. There was that game where like the pause time exceeded, and Miracle used his own team's pause time to help the other team. Good guy, Miracle.
Terrible. How dare he?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's a little bit too
completely
nice in my
selfish.
eyes. Oh, I should probably give you guys some lovely draft noises. There you go. You want to hear the heroes say their uhs and whatnot.
You got to hear those like weird grunts as they
Yeah.
come out. You missed that Naga grunt. It was beautiful.
Ah, well, that's life. Maybe next game. I'm sure we'll probably hear it again because, as we said, no Nagasar in there for Miracle. This still holds true like 4 years later. So, but yeah, it's a little bit of a different day today overall here at Moonduck because we're not going to go
It's
straight in.
Valentine's Day.
Also
Oh,
true.
Okay.
Also true. Slacks is the day off, at least
No, it
the
isn't.
early
We're
day.
bringing him in.
I saw that he was playing pubs like right now. I got up at like
Why
5:30.
the hell is he up?
I don't know. Got up. I was shoveling, and I looked on my Dota, and there it was. It was.
Well, it is a lovely 4 a.m. here in Colorado, so if he's up, that is not normal.
Yeah. Well, that's him. He's playing with Burnside. You know how it goes. But
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah. So
That's
today,
true Valentine.
we have Mr. Cat, and then we have American Dota later for elimination mode. So we're not gonna go. You can't just sit here and have Dota for the entire day. We're gonna have a break. It's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna
You
have to take a
could
nap.
just watch VODs between. You know, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Take a nap, recharge, so you can be fully hyped for the NA Dota that's coming at you.
Yeah.
We got some good series, we got some good casters, good analysts. It's gonna get pretty dope on elimination mode. First,
Oh yes.
SEA Dota.
Oh, that's right.
always
It's
a
announced
priority.
too. We have the OG boys. We have
Oh, we do.
Fly
The
and No
OG
Tail
boys
coming.
are casting,
Yeah.
not
so,
just panel.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty great. But anyway, this game, as you can see, we started nice and early, so we can really wait for these bands to come out here. Not too shocking. Slidar coming here. First overall into the Sand King, the Weaver. And if you guys, maybe you haven't caught any of these MVP.Hot6 games quite yet, basically these guys are surprise into the tournament. It was supposed to be their other roster, and some other mix-ups had to happen for them to get in here, so they've done, I would say, pretty well in their games, considering the fact that they've been like shoved into this tournament maybe at the last minute. They haven't won a game yet, but they've put up a good fight in a couple of them, and had some rough ones to go there as well. But good start. They have the Slidar. They've been loving themselves some Slidar Lifestealer across all teams in this tournament. Not too shocking. Pretty good combination.
I mean, who doesn't? They can grab it up right here if they want to. Slardar makes that lovely little vessel for our Nakes, but they also have a little bit of flexibility. I mean, going against a Weaver, you got to keep him in check, but, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Back
Yeah.
in for the Lifestealer.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there are still some issues with it for sure because you're running up against a Weaver and you're a Lifestealer versus a Weaver, so you're not going to have any sort of control element up against them until you like get a Basher basically, and even then you have to wait till you have an Abyssal. So Lifestealer needs some help. You know, it's not really on him. He's just the damage dealer. He needs some friends to help up in the manning up upon the Weaver scenario. But Sand King, not a hero we see too often, at least not compared to his old prominence. It used to be like him, Batrider, and Axe were the kings of our patches before 7.00. They were just too good in the off lane. No one else was even close. And they could 1v1 so many different heroes. You had to take them into account for your whole draft as to like what kind of aggro tri-lanes could come up because of them. But then we got Shrines. And now we run different heroes in the off lane, some greedier ones, just because you can be a little bit more aggressive, some dual lanes and whatnot. So happy to see Mr. Sand King again. Unbelievable how far we go in drafts now, and Bat just, he doesn't even come up. All 10 picks, all 10 bans, no Bat Riders these days.
You know, we could still see him. This could be the game where he's dragged back from the dead, but not looking so likely. Now, how did Mineski run their Sand King? Like, is it still off lane, or do they run it in that roaming 4 position?
I don't know. I haven't caught any Sand King in their drafts. I don't believe here they've run it, so Looks like their last time they were doing it was against the old Faceless lads, which, not too surprising, Mineski did get taken down as Faceless looked good, and that was with Ninja Boogie playing on the support role. So I think it'll probably just be one of those same situations with your Slider where it's just like, you know, if you can make it work, then you're pretty happy to put it in the support role, but often you have to kind of shove him in the off lane for sanking. He's not quite as good at the 4 as Slider. He needs way more help with setup.
That initiation's a little bit tricky, especially with MVP.Hot6. They've got that run at you lineup even after only 2 picks. So Mineski are going to have to tiptoe around that just a little bit. We'll see what MVP are going to take out for them next. I like this Dazzle Band, just getting out that negative armor.
Yeah. Probably along the same lines, too. Might see a Shadow Fiend ban, potentially. I guess, again, before this patch, we always talked about Drought with this kind of a lineup, but she's just not really favored by anyone. If anyone's going to bring it back, I would say Southeast Asia. We'll have to see. Their last draft where they did do this like Weaver and whatnot, they gave it to Miracle. They went aggro with it, and they ended up kind of creating a lot of space for Raging Potato Tinker. Now again, they lost that game, but see if they maybe try and go for the same sort of ideas here, especially that offlane Weaver kind of a style. Plenty of teams down with that.
Like Mineski going in, they still need themselves a mid. They still need themselves another support. Want to give away too much. The Ogre's banned out against them. Again, Ogre just that really good early sustain. He can rotate without having to leave his cores completely unprotected, and he got that initiation that it seems like Mineski might be needing.
Man, this is like elimination mode right here. We got Shadow Demon, Dazzle, Ogre, Rubik, Silencer, Earth Spirit. Those are like some of the most common supports.
Top tier bans, yeah.
Just like ditching all those supports. Can't stand them.
Yeah, there's a huge focus on supports in these bans. Lone Druid and Naga are really the only big beefers. Yeah, Vengeful Spirit picked up, and interestingly enough, when Drow is picked, it's picked with Avenge almost always. I want to say like 70-something% of the time it's got Avenge with it, so Mineski are thinking about that Drow. It's looking a little bit better for them.
Yeah, definitely possible. I mean, Venge herself is just, she's so good right now.
Oh, she's so good right now.
She's a strong hero. Probably going to end up being support just because we have that Weaver already. Depending on the laning scenario, there is the potential you can go like super greedy and give like RR the Weaver or something, and then just get a position 1 Vengeful Spirit going here maybe for Miracle, but more than likely I think it'll be Miracle on the Weaver, and probably just going to be like a position 5 Venge who just syncs up nicely with more of that minus armor, has the swap to help control the Lifestealer, or more importantly, if the Slider initiates, you can try and swap them out before all that damage burst comes from the Lifestealer.
Definitely a great pick to have. We've seen it do some good things here. Disruptor picked up for MVP, though. They've got another support of their own. A lot of utility coming out of him. And, I don't know, Disruptor's kind of that double-edged sword where he brings so much to your team fight, but he's such a liability. Like, he needs his levels, so you gotta give him some lane time. He's so easy to pick off, especially for heroes like Weaver that can just run him down. I'm scared for this Disruptor, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick here, though, because it's already going to help control up the Weaver, even a little bit with the Sand King in terms of like just getting into the fight and getting back out. Disruptor can be very disruptive.
Oh,
wow.
What up?
It's actually happening, guys. We're getting our Drow. Would you believe it?
Can I get a thank you?
Mineski are heroes. They're the best.
No, I'm really excited for this, because with the Shrine change, the fact that you have to get down 1 tier 3 instead of all the tier 2s, it's really easy to kind of go in with that death ball and just get that 1 mega push at like 15-20 minutes, just be able to break that high ground off the back of a huge spike of momentum, and then Mineski just get a huge sum of net worth going in their favor. And they're able to take out Shrines and just kind of force MVP into their base. Of course, that's an ideal scenario. It doesn't always happen, but I think that's what they're going for here.
Yeah, no, it's certainly going to be pretty handy. And now this can also push our Weaver in. Well, maybe not with a Sand King. They could do Sand King offlane and then do Weaver position 4, Avenge 5, and then go back for a different...
I would not like the Weaver position 4.
I think that's what they're doing, because they have to. Because it's the only way they're going to get a mid-hero here.
I mean, could they...
Weaver 4 is so good, actually. I don't think it's bad at all.
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's totally fine. They could also theoretically Weaver mid as well. That is possible.
Yeah, I'm thinking Weaver mid and then just put Drow Venge in a safe lane. Let Sand King do his little Roman thing and maybe pick up an offlaner here for last pick. It could be Weaver offlane as well.
But then your Sand King's Garbo. But I mean, it's possible. It's true. So MVP.Hot6, they've got themselves a very nice anti-Drow lineup here. One problem, like Drow is really good against this whole Slider Lifestealer but they showed it early, so it's understandable how that happens. But they're going to be grouped up a lot of the time. It's very hard to get solo pickoffs. The Slider Lifestealer Explosion. But their next two picks, the Disruptor and the Undying, are decently well prepared, especially Undying to try and fight early at these towers with the Tombstone, and then Alchemist with the Acid Spray D-Push, and the eventual, like, the run back, I love to call it, you know? You bide your time, you get your farm on that Alchemist while they're all pushing and grouping up on Mineski, and then he's the one who brings back the game for your squad. I think Shadow Fiend was the ideal ban. Definitely sinks in the best of their team. Puck would also be kind of okay here as well. For a lot of different reasons, though. Just like to initiate and try and get them that jump start, but then it would really limit their like overall timings.
Yeah. We'll see. Mineski last pick. It looks like, I mean, the Shadow Fiend ban, I understand. Mineski are lacking a little bit of damage until they get the Drow and Weaver online. Yeah, Venge Missile Nuke is great, but you gotta have something that's gonna be able to get those early first bloods, those early kills.
OD's actually kind of dank here.
That would be phenomenal with the Drow Aura, too.
Yeah.
Is it too greedy, though?
No, I think it's fine. Because, yeah, it's an Alchemist, so he can't apply
yeah,
that much
greed is
pressure
all in
to you.
perspective.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, that's
my.
great.
That is 4 Agi heroes on the side of Mineski. They are just all about that damage. They want to get that ball rolling as early as possible.
Okay. Well, classic Miracle Hero, at least. Seen him play a pretty decent Morphling. We'll see if that ends up being his, or if someone else wants to try and take it into the possible mid lane here. I guess against an Alchemist, they can really send either. It could be their Drow or their Morphling. Probably going to end up being the Drow in the end. Once that's been revealed. This should be very interesting. I would say I favor Mineski's. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mineski are going to kind of hit that 15-20 minute window where the Drow gets really strong, where Weaver is going to pick up that first big item, where Sand King's going to have the ult and the initiation, and I think they have the potential to go in and just get a couple really successful fights in a row, and that's all she wrote.
Oh, we got ourselves a little quick pause here.
Lagging up a storm.
Oh, yeah?
I am. I was like zoomed all the way into Disruptor's tail for a
Oh,
really
of
long
course,
time.
a Miracle Drow. How could I be so naive? He also plays a nice Drow. So it looks like it'll be Raging Potato on the mid Morphling here. And Miracle will just get his safe lane farm. Okay, cool. This will be a fun little game. Not too much fun playing mid Morphling in a lot of matchups. You don't have the best range. You're definitely survivable to some degree, but not as much as many other mid heroes would be. However, up against an Alchemist should be fine and dandy. The only big concern will be just trying not to... Reason's doing some dance in the mid lane here. Big concern would be not to allow this Slider to get out of control. Don't let his off lane go well at all.
Do you know where the bind is for like minimap size? Because for some reason mine just got real small.
Oh, is it the... Wait, did you hit a button that got small, or it's just small now? You open
No,
Dota?
it just when I booted up Dota, it was like
Yeah, there was a
minimum
patch
size.
that made it even smaller.
Oh
At least
God,
one of the
is that
sizes.
is that just how it is now? It's so small, I can't see it.
No, you should be able to go into the options, and I think it's in video, or it's somewhere in the options. Maybe it's advanced, but there's definitely
Alright,
a
I will
button where you
poke
can change
around.
the sizes.
Will do, because I can't see shit.
They're having a taunt off here between Doctor and Reason.
Where are we looking?
Oh, down by the Radiant offlane bounty rune, where Jules will get crushed up.
Ooh. Gonna be scooching away. I don't think we're going in for any snipes here just yet. Radiant gets the Radiant side, Dire gets the Dire side, starting things out nice and even. I mean, we talked a lot about how Mineski's draft has the power to just get that momentum rolling, but what's MVP looking forward to here? What's going to be their game plan?
Basically, just get Doctor farmed up, get that armlet rolling, try and hold their towers as long as possible. Be pretty fun watching Reason this game, I think, on the Undying. Should be quite the display. This guy's a very good player. It's like one of the highlight guys that you're going to watch from MVP. And it's going to be a fun game to be in Undying, too. And look at this harass. I mean, he started with 3 strike. There you go. Attaboy, Reason. Put on the dance. Top lane, stun. But he's fine. Oh, what a crush.
I mean, this mid lane's going to be pretty tough for our Morphling. We see he's able to go, and he's tangoing himself up. He's got one more shared tango. He can Morph strength. He's morphed all the way to Agi right now. He has 200 HP on the Morphling.
Yeah, he started with a little bit of strength, and he's like, you know what? I got Tango now. Got to get maximum value.
200 HP? That is like a neutral creep.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, there's no way they can instantly kill him, and then you're just getting the maximum efficiency with your Tangos that way. So if you like morph strength now. But yeah, this is not going to be a fun lane, especially if he just keeps being dual lane the entire time. But this is opening up a little bit more space for RR down bottom. Nice pull getting off here from Grace, though. And that's going to deny out the wave from RR. He'll have to come contest this.
RR having a little bit of a difficult time here. He's actually going to get wrapped around on. He should be able to escape into the river, but doesn't want to let all this jungle farm go. Able to snap up 2 little creeps focusing on melee, but he is getting very, very low himself. Disruptor has that Thunder Strike. Really surprised he didn't cast that out.
Yeah, I think it's just, yeah, that was a smart play. Because he would have just ran to the shrine right away anyway, and then he would have just wasted his Thunder Strike.
Yeah, he's only got 1 more for mana pool. Does have that clarity already, but...
Top lane, a little bit out of control right now. Should be able to grab this up now, perhaps, and try and get some creeps balanced out here. Starting to look a little bit better. Slider's been doing fairly well. I guess level 1.5 doesn't... and he's still alive. I'm giving that as fairly well in this lineup. Sees Nimbus room picked up. Got to morph some strength here from Raging Potato.
Top lane, we got our Slardar just kind of swirling around, maybe looking to steal some of the XP from neutral camps going on, but he's just going to have to settle for getting back, playing safe. This Drow Ranger's getting a lot done. Going to be our last hit leader right here, so Miracle might need to get checked pretty soon, or this Drow is going to get out of control.
Yeah, not an easy hero for them to check into either. We'll have to wait at least until level 6 on the Lifestealer, and even then, it'll probably be some sort of rotation with a Glimpse or something, where they can hope that the supports have rotated from top, and they can go into some sort of a play, but she'll certainly be an easier target compared to this Morphling, even if he is at 225 HP. It doesn't really matter too much. It's so funny, though, just because, like what does Decay... Decay barely does anything in comparison... Okay, well, that was not thought out. See, Decay doesn't do much, but Soul Rip does. And we just watched Reason absolutely shred him when the waves came together. 2nd level up in it. Raging Potato not ready for that one.
That's one of those, like, all right, man, you're hitting hard, you're getting that Tango efficiency, but you have no HP. And now Doctor, there's going to be a return coming back in the waveform forward. He's got a little buggy on him, and so at least Ninja Boogie able to make this into a relatively even lane. Up top Light able to pick up the kill onto the Drow. We talked about the need for that Drow to get checked, and that was just an absolute stomp by Light.
That is sick. What a great... All right, that's actually so worth the Alchemist dying. I'm sure that your Slider gets that. Holy shit. He's level 4.5 now. He's ahead of the Drow. And he was just level 1. Wow, that is great. Oh, Raging Potato gonna have to check himself here. See if he learned his lesson.
Top tower is under
I guess to his credit, it wasn't invisible undying. At least for, you know, he was right next to him, but...
Morphling going in pretty low. Finally morphing some strength, but there is going to be a wraparound from the
Undying. God.
Waveform back, and is this Morphling going to be able to get out okay? It looks like those little points in strength are going to be adding up, saving his life for now at least.
Yeah, currently at 3 times his previous max HP. What a clown. And man, that is a nice early medallion up here for our Weaver, though. I saw him having queued up, and I was wondering if he was just going to go straight, but Jules, he's got it. He's ready to keep going with these rotations here.
Doctor perhaps in a little bit of trouble next time he moves forward. They've got the Vengeful Spirit to go and initiate with the Magic Missile, as she's only level 3. Swap is a far ways off. But now with the Undying going back to mid lane, it's just going to be a little bit of a standoff here.
Oh, no Sentry as well. Got themselves a ward there, so... Oh, last hits basically even between Lifestealer and Drow, as you'd expect. Alchemist doing fairly well in the mid lane, but he said help from an Undying the entire time. And other than that, all even across the board. Net worth reflects that pretty accurately. No one's really launching off here.
This Slardar is doing a lot better than I expected him to. Able to finally get that kill on the Drow, and now he's going up against a Drow and a Weaver, able to crush onto the Weaver, but this is not exactly a safe space for our Slardar right now. I may have just Caster's cursed it, as they're going to bring a Ninja Boogie as well. Although Light Has a buggy on his side. He is able to get back under the safety of his tower.
Yeah, gets he's just so survivable now at this point, thanks to that one solo kill in the Drow. Basically changes the entire game. And we got some stacks back here, maybe, or I don't know. He's just acid spraying his way up here. No real stacks going for Doctor, but he'll be getting some gold and allowing Reason to farm mid, top lane.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a deep initiation for the Vengeful Spirit. Wrap it around. He goes for the Panic Crush, but isn't able to find anything, and it's actually Jules that picks up that kill. Super crucial to this Weaver, who's gone for a first item medallion even before boots.
Yep, perfect way to start as this hero. Sometimes you'll see the roaming. Yeah, he'll still buy the boots, because like when you're playing Core Weaver, it's a lot better not to have the boots.
You just scooch and you don't have to really leave your lane, don't have to venture too far.
Yeah, exactly, but rotating around the map, you kind of need the booties.
Unless you're level 25, man, you gotta hold out for that plus a Julian Scoochie speed.
Yeah, it's pretty great talent, honestly. Let's see if they can push off here and actually save this tower.
I think they're just trying to zone everyone back. They bring in the Disruptor, but it's a little bit late to actually get vision and glimpse someone back, so everyone kind of poking their heads out, scared away the dire heroes, and is not going to result for any Radiant kills just yet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So we're just going to hold up here a little while longer. Phase, scouting out Ninja Boogie, see what he's up to, so gives him a little bit of confidence on the Radiant side. Raging Potato, on the other hand, he's trying to catch back up. He is well behind the Alchemist. I mean, kind of expected, but the Armlet now done here for Doctor. What about our Life Sealer? Shuma.
He's doing well.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Got his full phase boots. He's working towards that Armlet. And our Sand King's doing really well here, able to get a lot. Hasn't been forced completely out of lane just yet. Like you mentioned, the change with shrines, just having a shrine in the off lane makes it super easy for Sand King to be sustainable. Not the most popular offlaner, but he's still getting done what he needs to get done. He's now got his level 6, hasn't picked up his epicenter, wants a couple more levels in lane before he initiates. Speaking of initiating, up top we've got Light going in onto the Vengeful Spirit, and there's going to be a tombstone pop down. Ninja Boogie tries to TP out, gets glimpsed back immediately, and will get dropped. Bounty Rune spawns, and that's just going to be a nice prize for Raisin.
Oh, isn't that nice? Giving us the Undying like that.
Little reward.
I see some scouting action from our hoping to find that Alchemist, but he's now made his way over to the other jungle, so I'll have to head on back. And the pressure coming top lane, so considering how much they're getting done with just these 3 heroes, pretty happy if you're this Alchemist. Feel like you got free reign on the map, and then even followed up right behind him is the Lifestealer. So MVP, this is probably the best start they've had so far in Mr. Cat. I'd say feeling pretty strong. Definitely shout out to Raging Potato, though, at this point. Can't believe how much farm he's caught up on. Just,
and he's only going to scale.
So
it's not like Morphling suddenly are just like, oh yeah, it's late in the game, I have difficulty farming. That is right the opposite.
Yeah, and that's the thing where we talk about the potential for them to like have gone into a puck or something, where that would have been like, okay, we only have so much time to work with. Things don't get that much better as the game goes later. Yada, yada, yada. This really helps out in that situation, where if they do get behind, he can do a ton of split push, and they have decent catch, but it's a Morphling.
Gan
so.
from the Radiant.
Dun, dun, dun,
Gonna reveal Jules waiting in the mid lane. They know something's up, so Doctor's gonna get pinged, Raisin's gonna get pinged, and there's just a full wrap around all the dire heroes. 2 smoked, some not. Want to go in for this. Raisin is gonna go. The tower is collected by this Morphling. They're going on to Doctor now. He's got that chemical rage going. It looks like Grace is doing whatever he can to keep Miracle at bay, but running in. Everyone's still alive on the side of Mineski.
These guys are panicking.
Ninja Boogie, though, is going to go through, tosses out the stun, does get killed. And now Slardar joins in, and it's getting ugly. Light's actually able to pick up a double kill, but Morphling waveforming through, wants to turn things back around onto Shuma. Goes in with the Adaptive Strike, needs one more hit. It looks like Shuma is able to go through, channel up the salve. We've still got the Morphling moving forward, Epicenter, rather Burrow Strike to try to hold Doctor in place. They don't need to commit the Epicenter, and there we go. That's going to be another kill.
Damn, Raging Potato.
That
whole
got messy
fight.
real quick.
Yeah, he's just sitting there on this Morphling at like 200 to 300 HP the whole time, but he knew that there was like no focus left for him. And he just shredded the rest of that engagement. Gets himself 626 gold, 629 experience, shared equally with the Sand King there. And he dished out like 4k damage. Holy shit. He did more damage than the entirety of the Radiant.
And this is a 10-minute Morphling. This is not even close to where we're going to see this Morphling at the end of this game.
No, he's now moving up into his Dragonlance. Oh, just 2 like very obnoxious heroes to deal with between the Morphling and the Weaver.
Yeah.
Also 2 of the funner
especially
position ones to play right now.
being bumped up by that precision aura. It's level 3 on the Drow Ranger, so I'm predicting, 15, 20 minutes, there's going to be a huge surge of momentum for Mineski. They're going to push, they're going to take down tier 3s, they're going to try for barracks, and we'll see how well MVP can deal with that. I mean, what is MVP's defensive style here? How do they turtle most effect?
Basically, Light needs to get his Blink Dagger. Like, they have it on the Sand King now, so they have a very big initiation advantage right now on the side of Mineski. So the game should be very difficult for any fight. This is a great time for MVP right now, honestly. This is a totally fine trade. Yes, you lose bottom, but you can't 5v5 them right now, and you don't want to because your Alchemist is farming and your Lifestealer just got his armlet, so they would not have been able to fight had they contested this top tower.
Oh, unfortunately, Slardar wasn't able to land the last hit on that tower. Would have bumped him a good ways towards his blink, but he is only about 200 gold off, so Slardar are going to be mobile very, very soon. They can
that's
start
a pretty
out with
rough
these
mistake,
infest
though.
bombs and whatnot.
Really would have wanted that.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but tower's down nonetheless.
Shuma.
Shuma.
I would be so scared right now.
I mean, this guy, he's got an armlet. He's feeling a little bit safe. Does have that infest. Can just hop into a creep if shit goes real south. Gonna munch up the replicate. Now blink forward. There is gonna be the initiation from the Sand King. Immediate follow-up from the Disruptor wanting to zone everyone back, but the ult is now dropped and they're not gonna get anything from it except for this Morphling standing at the edge of the ult. Took about half damage for not a whole lot of reason.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, he's still in here, but his team's backing him up. They will find on the back line Light.
They're moving forward. They've got the stun from the Venge if they absolutely need it. She's going to swap and bring herself forward. They get the Slardar down, but now this Morphling needs to get himself away. He's able to wave form, morph strength. They bring in the Drow, able to pluck down that Undying like it's nothing. Ninja Boogie's still alive, throws out the Wave of Terror with her last breath, and they are able to find some kills off the back of this. She's making her death worthwhile as they're able to find the Alchemist as well. Grace, the only survivor. We're diving tier 3s here, and Jules is able to help find the kill for RR. It's a double TP out, a triple kill for the Sand King, and a full wipe on MVP.
Well, that looked familiar. That was kind of like the last fight as well, but that couldn't have started much worse for MVP. The fact that your Slardar is the guy who's coming in all alone. Yeah, there was even some ward vision here from the Dire side, and they're just waiting on this high ground. Once he's dead, they have no initiation left on the Radiant side. No way to get the Lifestealer in to actually use that fresh armlet. And disastrous. I mean, they just kind of like chase this Morphling into the entirety of the Dire and then have no way of even really controlling him up without Static Storm being on top of him since it was used at the start. Oh, nice
now,
snag up top.
Oh, good fortify.
Oh, come on, you got a haste rune. I know you. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, oh, able to go through and get it. Is it going to cost him his life? He's morphin strength for all he's worth. The waveform away. There is going to be a glimpse back. They've got him in the Static Storm. Is his team there to bail him out? Looks like he will end up going down, and the rest of Mineski, they're just going to cut their losses and run back from the fight. And that's a pretty big sum of gold going the way of Disruptor this early in the game.
That's why we call it the invincibility rune right there. It's like, I can't die. How can they kill me? I'm hasted.
I have more move speed than usual. They cannot kill me.
Yep, impossible. So somehow they do the impossible. They actually managed to bring down this hasted Morphling. So yeah, great pickup for them. And who actually got the gold? Grace. Okay. Maybe
Yeah, this is Disruptor,
not
so-
ideal.
He's helping with the wards, man. He's keeping the vision up.
I'd like a Radiance.
Gotta get that money somehow.
if I was MVP.
Disruptor Radiance.
No, more so just give the gold to Elk.
Oh, okay. I was like, Disruptor Radiance seems a little too meta for me.
A little ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's going to be possible here in this game. Dire moving into Radiant Turf. There's going to be 2 wards right on top of each other, so both teams have an idea of what's going down here.
Yeah, Dire might have an inkling that it's there just because theirs was down first, but I mean, they've just been walking through that area so much, it's not exactly guaranteed.
Looks like this top lane's going to be what they're after. Could be an easy pick on the Disruptor. He's going up just trying to clear creeps. Little does he know, he's about to get dumped on. There we go. That is like 3 shots for the Weaver. He doesn't even have a Desolator or anything, just that Medallion of Courage.
I always found it irritating that this spell's not physical from Vengeful
Which one?
Spirit. I always want Magic Missile. I know it's called Magic Missile,
It's
but
called Magic Missile.
I
Trent.
know, but it doesn't synergize with her, and it would be so much cooler. It would actually be probably like kind of OP if it was physical.
What, physical missile?
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. See, that kind of rhymes. That's a good name. Then you could like wave a terror and then stun people. It would just be so satisfying. But it's okay. They still get the kill. And then like Medallion would sync up so much better on her too.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Maybe if she gets nerfed tired enough, then we can eventually buff her back up with that Ice Frog.
If Venge gets killed, we have a way to bring her back now. Make her
Exactly.
missile pure damage, goes through magic immunity, all that good shit.
That is one of the cooler talents. That fight in elimination mode, she stunned like 4 people with BKBs during one of like the later games. It was actually
I was
so
there.
funny. Yeah, I know. That was great. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. It was satisfying to see that talent so useful, especially when you're up against 20% Vengeance Aura. Like, that one's pretty good.
Either way, there's going to be an Aegis snatched up. We've now got Morphling on a roll. It is only 16 minutes in the game, but this Morphling is already feeling online. Usually the golden rule with Morphling is just leave him alone for like 20 minutes. He'll farm up, he'll do his thing, and then start to fight. But this Morphling's been involved since the very beginning.
Yeah, again, just Drow Aura doing work. Makes you so much more confident going to these engagements, so much more damage. But now we do have the Radiance online. The ultimate item versus the Drow lineup. The counter, the
Radiant's
mischance.
middle tower is under
Just
attack.
you have a global benefit to your whole team as Drow that just buffs up their right clicks, and then this Radiance just in a massive AoE, especially once the illusions actually come up from Alchemist. So handy during these fights.
Oh, smokes are going to pop. It looks like there is going to be an attempt to crush up this Morphling. He's able to get out of the fight, but glimpsed back into the Static Storm. This Morphling may get eaten up, but the rest of his team's going to be coming in. They're going to initiate the stun onto this Lifestealer. Morphling's coming back, but can they really keep him alive? A crush to initiate once again. There's going to be a tombstone there to try to hold him in place. Swap forward, though. Ninja Boogie really wants to go. They've cornered the Alchemist. Even with his new Radiance, he can't live. And now we do have our Morphling still up, still in this fight. Kinetic Field holding back everyone temporarily, but Shuma's going to go down too, so arguably the two most important heroes on MVP are already dead. They're going to follow that up with another kill onto Grace.
That was a nice 4-staff angle.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, they.
tower is under
I think
attack.
they felt like they're so far behind. They needed that secondary kill on the Morphling. They couldn't afford to just let him go.
Radiant's bottom tower
And it's like a situation where it's like, okay, well maybe they're not close enough, and they were kind of fired. Like they saw they were running from the bottom creep wave, but
How did that Alchemist get split off in the fight? Because he was fighting like in the low ground neutral camp.
he just got like pushed in. First he got swapped, and then he just kind of got like zoned in there. So
Definitely great map control there from Mineski, just kind of herding him into a spot where his teammates can't get to him. And you talked about how useful that mischance on the Radiance is going to be. Well, it's not so important when there's like 4 heroes slapping away at you. They can still get you down.
yeah, full focus on him. But yeah, gonna go for a quick plate mail. Good choice early on here. Trying to help himself out here on Doctor before he goes into a Radiance, or rather a Manta, to boost up the overall split push abilities here. But net worth, not so hot. 4 heroes of the Dire in the top 5, and one of those for the Radiant is an Alchemist, so that's a little bit inflated.
Should be doing a little bit better than he is. But again, MVP from early on, we're kind of controlled around. And this is going to be the absolute danger time. I mean, it's not going to get super easy late game, but right now, you know, a Drow strat where most heroes are ranged, most heroes are able to initiate. They've got their first round of items on the Dire side. That, you know, 15 to 25 minute window is probably the scariest time to be MVP, because if Mineski get any sort of pick off, any sort of advantage, they can just push to their little heart's content. They're so good at clearing towers right now.
Yeah, and all the Radiant can do is try and bait out this Alchemist, but it won't work. Just TPs himself away. This is like the risky play, right? Where you're really hoping and counting on Mineski trying to dive Doctor, but that whole time they just spent not doing so meant all these other heroes aren't gaining any net worth whatsoever. On the one hand, Light is a Slider, so it's not too big of a deal, but he would really love to have a 4-staff. At the very least, Doctor's survivability just increased by a massive margin with this plate mail. The plus 10 armor, huge difference up against the Drow lineup.
Yeah, they do still have
Oh no.
what?
Oh no, Annie. It's the Aghanims. It's the Weaver.
He's had that queued up for a long time.
I know, it's so disgusting though. Like, it's so good. It basically makes the support Weaver just like so much better.
You know, in theory, they could go for... They have the Ags on the Weaver. They could go for an Ags on the Venge and just keep Venge alive for like 4 lives.
No, I like what you're saying.
I think
That's a
it's
good strat right there.
It's a terrible strat.
What
Please
if
no one try
Avenge
that.
died and became the illusion, and then you time-lapsed it? It could turn her back into the hero. That would
Oh
be some
my,
super meta
that
shit.
is a little broken. Has that been tried?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. But if
I
it
think
could.
it should. I think it could. That's a great buff. Oh, initiation here from the Sand King. Gonna go get silenced immediately. But look at Jules just cutting through with that, undying the rest of Mineski. They're all still pretty much full health. They've got their mana. They've got all the ultimates they need. So they're just chilling. They're gonna be shoving in this bottom lane. The creeps already doing the heavy work for them. And this tier 3 tower is starting to take some chip damage. How do you initiate against this? There's no static storm for another 70 seconds. And this tower is just getting busted up. The fortify popped out, but
All right.
that's about all you can do.
Raging Potato just gave them away. No.
He gave them away. He told them exactly what's going on, but he's going through. Look at that. There's the time lapse being used. Weaver Ags comes in handy. It's looking like this could be a really quick game 1. As everyone is just starting to style on the likes of MVP.Hot6. There's a reinitiation from the Sand King going in onto the Slaughter. The magic missile to follow up as the racks are being crumbled down. The damage proves to be too much. MVP take a lost team fight. They lose 1 lane of racks, and they're about to lose a 2nd lane of racks at only 21 minutes into the game.
Damn. That was quite the explosion there from Raging Potato here on the Morphling. E-Blade, 20 minutes in with the Hurricane Pike. Pretty strong, 15k net worth. I would be okay if this guy was on my team, I feel like.
Going for megas right now.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they can't stop you. They could do an infest bomb, but even then it's going to be an unlikely kill.
Morphling gonna go TP back to base, just fill up on all that juicy mana, can hop back to the replicate if necessary. Now, everyone on MVP is alive, so Mineski showing some appropriate caution right now.
At the very least, they can maybe bring down his replicate, but...
Ninja Boogie, he's down to swap and go. Look at this Alchemist. He's going to be chemical raged up, but does it even matter? Under the Static Storm, they're able to find a pick, but it's just not enough. Look at this. This Weaver Ags is phenomenal at saving team rights left and right.
Yeah, he just comes back with a BKB too after that replicate. Like, really?
Oh my
Come
god.
On. So unfair.
One more rack stands between Mineski and Mega Creeps, and this Morphling is proven to be a little too good. He uses that Ethereal Blade to buy himself some time, and the GG called out 22 minutes into game number 1. Mineski are looking incredibly strong. MVP maybe just got outdrafted, outplayed in the lanes, but either way, this was not their game.
Yeah, weren't able to get any sort of aggression going. Basically, like that whole, again, that drow strat, like that's the problem with Slardar Lifestealer is, in the past when it was so strong, everyone was just countering it by drafting a ton of split push. But the other way you can do it is just draft full 5 man. So it's definitely not ideal to reveal it in the first 2 picks. However, if you want it, you probably have to grab it because it'll still get banned. And this is just a good example of that. All right, it's just picked up too early, and Mineski are able to find a good solution to it. Very well played, though. I thought they looked super crisp. Miracle and Raging Potato played very well, and Jules and that support Weaver, also a very nice performance so far. But let me get us into our next lobby here. I have to do my admin duties. I don't want to get in trouble here.
Admin, man. Lay down the law.